I'm going to go and see Sue, who runs Headquarters, which is a hair salon in Mytholmroyd. Sue has been flooded on quite a few occasions, and whilst there are new flood defences being built here, Sue does acknowledge that in an extreme flood they may overtop, they reduce her risk, they don't take it away. So she's made some pretty serious adaptations to help her recover come the next flood. Well, Sue, thank you so much for inviting me into your salon to show me just all you've done to make it flood resilient. First of all, could you tell me a bit about your worst flood? Because I know you've lived through a lot of them.
Yeah, the worst flood was in 2015 on Boxing Day. We couldn't get down to the shop. And eventually, the day after when we did arrive, it was absolute devastation down here. We'd got over 6 foot of water in the salon and structural damage. The water had come through the walls, it had blown the windows out, so a lot of damage, and we did lose absolutely everything in the shop.
And how long were you shut for while the repairs were being done?
Right, we were shut for around about 9 months, but fortunately I was able to secure a place up at another salon which wasn't affected by flooding. So very fortunately they allowed me to go and work up there so I could keep the business going.
So what made you decide to make adaptations? Was it that big flood? You've been flooded 3 times and you just couldn't take any more, is that it?
Yeah, I mean, when you come back in and stand there and you've lost absolutely everything and it's your business, it's your livelihood, it's either I pack up and go, but what do I do then? Or we stand there and look and say, right, what can we do? And I worked alongside my landlord and we put together a plan of how to bring the shop, the premises back into working order. And how to make it as resilient as possible.
So could you tell me what you've done? Because I know you flooded in February and you've got a really great story to tell.
Yeah, so when we decided we were going to redo the shop and make it as resilient as possible, we looked at absolutely everything that we could do, and we dug the floors out and concreted the whole floors from front to back. Then we laid stone flag floors. All the electrics were all hired up, so they were sort of about between 3 to 4 feet above floor level. The walls are all rendered with outside render. They were tanked first, so they're all tanked and then rendered, and then they're all painted. Everything is painted with outside paint. So whatever you would put on the outside of a house or a property, we've put on the inside. All the furniture is either glass, plastic or metal. The kitchen is all plastic, so nothing gets thrown away from that or damaged. Any little bits of furniture that I have round is all recyclable, so it's all old furniture that we've had painted. So if it gets damaged, we throw it away. We can afford to do that. All the stock can be lifted up, any stock that is low down. We tend not to keep things low down anymore. So anything that is, we can, if we're given adequate warning about floods, then we just come down and lift everything as high as possible. So that resulted in the flood that we had in February, where we had roughly about 3 feet of water in, with minimal losses. We were able to open up within 4 days, and that was, we came in, we power washed everything out, we sanitized everything, and then we had dehumidifiers going day and night, and a big gas flame heater going through the day when we were in here, and that dried everything out. And so, with minimal loss. So it just proves it does work.
So you know, if when you get your flood warning or the siren goes, you know to come down here to move your stock. You put stock in your car to take home as well, don't you? And then you move everything that you can out of harm's way.
Yeah.
And you think, obviously in emergency plans, so you all know what you're going to do in advance. And the fact that you've made the whole place flood resilient has saved you a fortune and a lot of heartache. And would you recommend it to others in your situation?
I think definitely, if you've got a property that is in the valley bottom that's prone to flooding like this one is, it's the only way forward. You know, you can't keep putting back down. I mean, we don't put carpets down, you know, there's no soft furnishings because you just lose them. So the only bit of carpet is the doormat, and I can afford to buy a new doormat, you know. So and the one thing about having a property down here and having a business is that we don't get any flood insurance. You know, they just will not insure us. So every time we have to pay to restock or to put it back is out of our pockets. So you know, you've got to make it as resilient as possible. It's the only way forward, in my view.
Well, I think you've told us an incredibly positive story, and thank you very much for speaking to me.
You're more than welcome.